Welcome back to another show of Smarkmania.
Hey.
With me here is my lovely wife, Andrea.
Hi, guys.
I'm your host, Mike. And this week we're going to go over a couple of things that we watched this week with wrestling. We watched, obviously at the beginning of the week, we had Royal Rumble. That was quite exciting. And then we had Raw, Smackdown, which you watched both of those.
I did.
With me, and I also watched 205 live real quick, just to see what that was all about. So I'm going to go over that real quick since I'm the only one who watched that, and 205 live is a shorter show anyways. So in 205 live this week, Daniel Bryan came out at the beginning of the show for a promo to introduce the new GM of 205 Live, which is going to be Drake Maverick. He was also known as Rockstar Spud. And then at the same time, Drake Maverick announced that they're going to hold a 16-man tournament for the Cruiserweight title since WWE recently fired Enzo Amore. And that night they started the 16-man single elimination tournament. In this 16-man elimination tournament, it turns out the two finalists are going to meet and go against each other at WrestleMania.
Awesome.
For the title. And so in the first round, we had Cedric Alexander versus Grand Metalik, and Cedric Alexander won that match. And then we had TJP versus Tyler Bate, and TJP ended up winning that match. So overall, pretty good show. Those were the only two matches of the night, but they were exciting matches. 205 Live guys, they're the 205 and under weight division, and they're the high flyers and everything. So it was fun to watch. It'll be exciting to see over the, weeks and months leading up to WrestleMania, having the tournament play out and see who ends up being the finalist to go for the Cruiserweight title. So let's go back before that to more towards the beginning of the week. And so again, this week was the week right after the Royal Rumble, which was, quite historic. We had the first Women's Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey was announced. And then Raw, the next day. Typically this is one of the biggest shows of the year for Raw because it comes right after the Royal Rumble. The biggest show of the year every year for the Monday Night Raw show is the show right after WrestleMania itself.
Yeah.
So for Raw, just kind of get an idea overall for that show. What did you think of the show on Monday?
I thought I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show too, but I felt like it didn't quite keep the momentum going after what just happened on Royal Rumble. I mean, we just had the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. Ronda Rousey just got confirmed that she's going to join WWE, so they had a lot of momentum going. I don't feel like they quite kept the whole momentum going through that Monday Night Raw. But, I mean, overall, it was still a good show. So let's just kind of go over some things that happened. At the beginning of the show, Stephanie McMahon came out, did a promo. They talked about the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, but then she also announced that Alexa Bliss is going to defend her title in the first ever Women's Elimination match at the next pay-per-view. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
To get to see another women's first this year, so good things coming for the women's division.
For sure.
And then Asuka came out and joined, and because when Ronda Rousey interrupted the WrestleMania, she never announced who she was going to face for the title, whether it was going to be Charlotte or Alexa.
Yeah.
But then during this, we still didn't find out who she was going to face. I don't think. I didn't notice them say, because then Sasha Banks came out and interrupted her, and then they ended up getting an argument, and then Stephanie McMahon made the match for that night which happened later on in the show. And then after that, the next thing that happened was a last man standing match between Braun Strowman and Kane. And this one was, over pretty quick. Braun Strowman handled Kane pretty bad and then flipped over the stage on Kane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was...
They had to take Kane out of the arena, get him to the medical center.
Right.
What did you think of that, Mom?
Well, I thought that was pretty silly, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Did they ever announce later on? Did Kane ever come back, or?
Yeah, one of the announcers said that. So Kane has this signature move, and Undertaker too, where if they got knocked down flat on their back during the ring, they would, fall down flat on their back, and then, boom, they'd sit straight up while still sitting on their butt on the ring, but like they would sit up from their waist up.
Yeah.
And he said that's what Kane did at the medical center, and then crawled his way out of the medical center.
Oh, I remember that part.
Okay, you remember now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these storylines that they always do with somebody having to go to the medical center they're always kind of silly to me, but
yeah,
it is what it is. And then what happened after that? We had a match between Elias and Matt Hardy, and Elias won because Bray Wyatt interrupted with, his little laughing screen thing to interrupt the match, which distracted Matt Hardy, so Elias won.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was for something. Yes, okay, so the matches that happened this night, all these matches were to qualify for the men to get into an Elimination Chamber match at the next pay-per-view as well.
Did you find out what that was, or what that is?
No, I fell off a couple of years watching wrestling. The last time I watched wrestling, there was no such thing as Elimination Chamber match. I was going to look that up, so I knew what the Elimination Chamber match was, but I never got around to it. So that's some homework I'll have to do this week to figure out exactly what an Elimination Chamber match is.
Okay.
So far, Braun Strowman won the first one between Kane, so Braun Strowman is in, and then Elias beat Matt Hardy, so Elias got in.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we had the Intercontinental title match between Roman Reigns and The Miz, with The Miz defending and Roman Reigns getting his rematch to get the title back. And then The Miz won that match. So he got a little bit of help from The Miz Taraj.
Oh, yeah. He did.
But, I mean, overall, I like that. I like The Miz as a champion. I feel like he has to have he should be holding one of the belts in the WWE.
Okay. Well, I like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, like I said, Roman Reigns, I feel like they're holding him. They're going to give him a place for one of the other championships, but I feel like The Miz needs one too. So the Intercontinental title is a good one for him to hold.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you think The Miz should have a title at all? Like, do you feel like he's a big...
should. He's been doing it for a while, and...
Yeah, and I feel like he's a big enough star in my eyes. I mean, that's usually the guys who hold the title, whether you're a good guy or you're just really good at playing a bad guy. Mm-hmm. If you're really good at your job, if you're one of the top guys, those are usually the guys that you are holding a title.
Yeah.
And I feel like The Miz, just overall, everything he does, he is one of the top performers in my eyes.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so after that, they had a little promo where they announced that the Dudley Boys were going to be inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame this year. I, myself, grew up watching the Dudley Boys. I loved the Dudley Boys growing up. They had a lot of great hardcore matches. I loved watching all those hardcore matches that they were involved with, doing extreme things. Andrea herself did not grow up watching wrestling, so she didn't know who the Dudley Boys were, so I know that you looked up some things about the Dudley Boys, so you could tell us a little bit about them and that you would know who they were.
All right. Well, feel free to add on or correct me if I'm wrong. So the Dudley Boys, they're being inducted to the Hall of Fame, like you said. I saw that. They are made up of Mark LaMonaco and Devin Hughes. Mark being Bubba Ray Dudley. His persona was a hillbilly type, dancing, singing, hee-haw.
Yeah.
And then Devin Hughes was Devon Dudley. I guess he was more the serious type. And
yeah. They actually pronounced it Devon.
Sorry. Devon. I apologize. So he was more serious. Didn't think that, well, I forgot to mention, they were part of the Dudley brothers. So that's how that all came to be. So basically they were kayfabe half-brothers. They were professional wrestling tag team, as you guys know.
Maybe not everybody knows. Maybe there's new people to this show, new to watching wrestling like yourself.
Oh, okay. They've been active since 96 through 2013, and again from 96 to 2010, and then again from 2013 to 2016. So, let's see, what else do I have here? Well known in Extreme Championship Wrestling. That's basically how they started. Bubba Ray started in October 95, and then Devon. Yeah, Devon.
Yeah, Devon.
Started in 96 following. They won back in their Extreme Championship Wrestling days. They won ECW Tag Team Championship 8 times. Finally joined the WWF in 99. Won a WWE Tag Team Championship 1 time. And WWF World Tag Team 8 times. And a WCW World Tag Team 1 time. And in their, I guess, their bits, what would you call it? Their little ring.
Their angle?
Their angle. So anyways, they're notorious for using tables in their matches and participate in the first tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yep, a TLC match.
Yeah. Oops.
I believe that was with the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian.
And then there was one more.
Was there one more team? I don't
There was
remember.
one more team.
Okay, it was a long time ago. I don't remember who the other team was.
Yeah.
But I
can't remember the
I remember being, young at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking that was quite an awesome match to watch. I remember that much. And I remember those 3 teams being in it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Or maybe there wasn't another one. Maybe I thought what was the last one that you said?
Edge and Christian?
Yeah, I thought maybe those were 2 different ones.
No.
I could be mistaken.
They were part of a group called The Brood.
Okay.
So maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Maybe. Oh, maybe then.
Yeah.
That could be it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't remember.
Anyways, any more you got to tell us about the Dudley Boys?
Nope, that's it.
Well, it sounds like they won a lot of championships, so they definitely sound like they are very deserving to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. They definitely won a lot of championships.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the little history lesson there on the Dudley Boys.
You're welcome.
Let's go on to the rest of the show. And in fact, so the next match that happened at Raw, I want to talk a little bit about was Sasha Banks versus Asuka. And Asuka got the win here, and I felt like this was another good match for the women's division. I really like Sasha. She seems like she's turning heel, which I think is a good move for her because the women's division has quite a few like babyface characters. So I feel like they could use another couple of people who are top performers who can play the heel. And Sasha seems like she's just overall good at what she does. So I could see her easily like being able to pull off playing the heel.
Yeah.
But the other thing I really wanted to talk about this match, so Asuka got the win. So at some point during this match, though, the Sasha threw Asuka out of the ring, and then she ran against the ropes, and then she does a dive through the middle rope. Asuka throws up a kick, but then it looked like Sasha got her knee pads, like they got caught up on the middle rope that she was diving through. And she took a pretty nasty bump there where she got caught on the rope, hit her head on the ring, then kind of fell down on the ground. At one point, the camera still caught on them. You see Asuka kind of check on her to make sure that she's really okay and didn't really get hurt because it looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it is something I heard somebody else talk about, but a lot of these moves didn't get attempted that often when I was younger. I almost see it on every show every week where it seems like somebody's making some sort of dive from inside the ring to the outside of the ring, which is kind of a risky move because you're going from inside the ring, you're jumping to the outside, either through the middle rope or over the top rope, going from the mat is designed to help them take some of the blow, but if you're jumping to the outside, sometimes they have little, foam padding out there, but they don't have anything real protective. You're jumping out there on the cement. So, and these wrestlers, they're putting on a good performance, but sometimes I worry maybe they're doing a little too much to try to put us over. They should, I know Vince McMahon, he sets the rules for what people are allowed to do, what moves they're allowed to do, what they can do. I just feel especially jumping from inside the ring to the outside is kind of a big risky move anyways. So I feel that's something you should save for doing only every once in a while. Because there is a higher risk of getting hurt, and it feels over the last month it seems they've been doing it a lot, and every week somebody's gotten hurt. Before they fired Enzo Amore, with what happened to him, he got hurt the week before and he was the one that was taking the bump. Cedric Alexander jumped to the outside and jumped on top of him, but the guy who's getting jumped on, they still have to be there to brace the fall of the person that's jumping from the outside.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that you can hurt your ankle, and then I think it was sometime in December, Dean Ambrose did the same kind of thing. He was jumping from inside the ring to the outside, and he ended up hurting his wrist. Just a few examples I could think of that it seems it's been happening a lot lately where, and then with this thing with with Sasha, seems a lot of people have been getting hurt lately, so maybe they should try to tamp that down a little bit. But, overall the match was good. So, it was good to see, and I'm glad that Sasha didn't end up not really getting hurt during that match.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say one more thing. Didn't Asuka also jump through the ring too? to get.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then because then at the end,
To get
like
Sasha and.
Asuka does something. Oh yeah. Asuka's like.
She's like she had to do it. So,
Asuka like ties Sasha up in the ropes, and then so she runs to the other side of the ropes to bounce off, and then she comes at her, and then Sasha ducks out of the way and pulls the middle rope down, and then so Asuka goes flying out through the middle rope there, and that one looked like it could have been that could have ended up bad too. So I feel like they should just try to tone it down, and like Vince McMahon should go to them and say like, hey, you guys, like these kind of moves like win the crowd over, but if you're doing them all the time, then people just expect it anyways. So then it becomes not as exciting, and you're just having it happen more often where people are more at risk of like actually getting injured.
Right.
Which you don't want, especially for your big stars. You don't want them to have to miss a lot of time or end their career or anything. But yeah, I mean, so we'll see what happens there. Let's move on. What else happened that night? There's only a couple more things. So next we had the tag team title match between Sheamus and Cesaro and Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. I thought this was a good match. I really like Sheamus and Cesaro. Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil, he's not so good. I don't really... No. He's not a great in-ring performer. No. But I like Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is a pretty good performer. So I like a lot of the stuff that he did during the match, but overall the rest of the match was just so-so. And, Sheamus and Cesaro won, keeping the title as they should. I mean, like I said, I think Apollo Crews is good, but Titus O'Neil is just kind of there because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do a whole lot exceptionally well inside the ring.
No.
I don't know much about him, but I've heard a lot of people say that Titus O'Neil does like a lot of like charity work outside of the ring as well. Okay. So that's another reason like they probably wouldn't ever like totally get rid of him, because he does like a lot of good work outside the ring and is an ambassador for the WWE that way, like within communities and stuff. So
okay.
I mean,
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so then for the finale was Finn Balor versus John Cena, and this was again for another spot to be in the Elimination Chamber match coming up. And boy, they're still in Philadelphia. They just Royal Rumble there, and this was a chance, because this is a chance to be in the Elimination Chamber match to get to go to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And John Cena, being semi-retired now, that's all he shows up for is big events, is, the big pay-per-view events like Royal Rumble he was at. And now he's in this match, which is going to get him to a match that will get him to WrestleMania. But man, fans were not, you could hear all the fans in Philly booing John Cena. Like, they're ready for him to be done, I think. I think he's been played out. They don't want to see him taking up a spot. And I think the other fact that hurts it is that he's going against Finn Balor, and I think a lot of people really like Finn Balor. I really like Finn Balor. I like the way he performs inside the ring. And so it does kind of feel like John Cena's kind of getting in the way of somebody else who should be getting a shot to be at these other events.
So I guess we'll see if Finn Balor wins.
No, they had the match already.
What?
John Cena won the match.
I missed it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you weren't watching or paying attention at the time, or maybe that's when you got up to do something. But yes, John Cena and Finn Balor had a match. They fought. And the fans were booing John Cena the whole time, and it was like really like getting in John Cena's head because he kept like saying like, "What, guys? Like, oh, I just want to go to WrestleMania." Like during the match, like as fans were booing him. So, I just think people are kind of like, "Okay, dude, you've pretty much retired. We would like to see Finn Balor at WrestleMania because he's going to be around all the time." So we'll see. I feel like if John Cena wants to be showing up at big events, like they can find matches to make for him that would be special at those events, but not at expense of like keeping somebody else out. Because I don't know, maybe they'll still find something for Finn Balor to do at WrestleMania. But the way they set this match up, it almost makes it feel like, well, they're giving a spot to John Cena and Finn Balor is out, which I don't think people are happy about.
Oh, maybe. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Maybe they'll trick us.
Yeah, but I mean, for you, if you had to pick one of the two, who would rather see in a match at WrestleMania?
Well, I haven't been watching it for that long, so I don't mind watching John Cena.
Okay.
But I could watch Finn Balor too.
Yeah. Okay, well that was the Raw show, so let's go ahead and let's move on to SmackDown. SmackDown this week.
What's up?
Here's a little baby here, joining us for the show, making his voice heard. Okay, but so for SmackDown, this show started out with Shinsuke Nakamura coming out, saying how he was gonna, get to fight AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and he was gonna, he doesn't speak good English yet, so he kept saying knee to face, knee to face. He was gonna do a knee to face to everybody. Yes. So that was good. And then, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out and interrupted and complained that they should have won the match at Royal Rumble because, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn never technically actually got the tag in. Their hands almost got close to each other, but Daniel Bryan came out and said, "Tough luck, dudes. Like, that's what happened." AJ Styles comes out as well, and then they set up a match that's going to be between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura later that night. And then also Daniel Bryan at that moment not at that moment, but in a promo that ended up happening backstage, is that Daniel Bryan is going to force Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to fight against each other in a match in this upcoming week, this upcoming SmackDown show. And the winner of that match is going to get to fight against AJ Styles one-on-one for a title shot. So that kind of throws a monkey wrench into the friendship of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which we will see have some effects later in the show. Right after that, we have Rusev versus Kofi Kingston versus Jinder Mahal versus Zack Ryder, and this was a fatal four-way, which the winner of this match was going to get a title shot at the U.S. title against Bobby Roode. And I feel like with the whole Rusev thing, the Rusev Day thing that they got going on, fans are a big fan of that little angle that they got going on with Rusev. Are you a fan of it?
I feel indifferent about it. I just felt like I don't know, they just brought it on. I'm like, what is Rusev Day? Or I thought it was just part of his act that he does all the time. Every day is Rusev Day, but I guess
right, that is part of the act. Every day is Rusev Day.
Right.
And I think fans are like it.
Yeah.
All the fans are now, he's almost turned babyface just because fans like it so much. I mean, he was playing a heel.
Okay.
But, people like the Rusev Day thing so much and are chanting Rusev Day that he comes off kind of comical now and, like almost like a good guy. But anyway, so Rusev actually ended up winning this match, so that means he's going to get to go against Bobby Roode for the U.S. title. Overall, the match itself wasn't that great. I mean, the Fatal 4-Ways, it's always kind of hectic because you got 4 guys that all have to coordinate moves and everything together, and it always kind of gets disjointed. But Rusev got... but then after that, after Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin come toss over the Fashion Police stuff over and the Ascension stuff. Next we had the Usos promo where they come out with like some great energy, like it really pumped you up. But I don't know what I hope this was just an experiment they're testing out on SmackDown, because I didn't notice it on the Raw show, but on SmackDown they kept throwing all these graphics up on the screen. They kept putting all the words like as they were going.
Oh, yeah, I
You
heard
know,
that.
they were like day one-ish, and then it would come up on the screen. The graphics would come up on the screen, and then when the Usos came out and did their little promo in the ring, they kept saying they got it on lock, and then the stupid like jail cell door kept like
Yeah.
closing on the screen and like making that slamming sound. I thought it was really bad, and you know that it was something that was scripted because every time they said we got it on lock or whatever, they paused for like 2 or 3 seconds
Yeah.
because they know that a graphic is supposed to be playing on screen for them between each thing. Like it just made it like too obviously scripted. Like we know it's scripted, but you don't want to make
Yeah.
it so obvious, you know,
Right.
that like they're doing it. And then every time you have a promo, like as the guys are talking, if the words are coming up on the screen that they're saying, then you're just making it that much more obvious. Yes, this was scripted. Like you
Yeah.
still want it, even though you know it's scripted, you want to make at least feel like it's like the people who are portraying it, you know, are acting like it's real.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know. I found it very distracting.
Yeah.
It just took the whole, I don't know, the feeling, the emotion that's part of it away.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like the Usos, they have such great energy too. Like, I don't want to be distracted by those graphics coming up on screen or them having to pause when they say certain things because they know a graphic's supposed to come up on screen. It kind of makes it doesn't flow.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah. But after that, the Bludgeon Brothers came out against 2 random guys. I didn't even hear them say who the team was. It was obviously just 2 guys that they threw out there for the Bludgeon Brothers to beat up again. You know, because the Bludgeon Brothers have been coming out there and tearing everybody apart. And this was right after
Yeah.
the Usos talked about how they're the best tag team out there. So hopefully that means we're going to see a, you know, crash collision course coming up, but that's going to end up between the Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos, because I really like what the Bludgeon Brothers do, because of, you know, those 2 big guys and they're just going
Yeah.
around slamming everybody. I like seeing that
Yeah,
kind
me
of
too.
power,
Yeah.
slamming guys around. Let's see here, what do we do next? Daniel Bryan did a little promo, again, stupid graphics coming up on screen, but he talked about how the superstars are all going to vote, you know, on each other, and you're going to find out like some sort of superstar top 10 thing, and then this played into a whole thing where Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger have some kind of scat, and then we get a match made between Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger. Now, I'm not a big fan of either of these guys, but they ended up getting a match anyways. Right after that promo, Charlotte Flair comes out for a promo, and then the Riot Squad interrupted and attacked her. And then this was the one where Carmella comes running out
Oh, right.
with her Money in the Bank thing, and she's
Yeah.
trying to cash it in, and
Yeah.
you know, this is, you know, like she's trying to hand it to the ref, and the ref's like, oh, what do I do? What, you want to cash it in now? Oh, this is what you're trying to do? It's like, yeah, guys, come on. It's like every time, I haven't watched for years, but back when I was watching, the Money in the Bank match was a thing. And it's like every time somebody tries to turn in the Money in the Bank to use it, it's always like, the ref's like confused, like they've never seen the Money in the Bank thing before and don't
Right.
understand what's trying to go on. But in the end, the way they played the story out was, you know, the ref is like finally gets it and it's like, okay, yeah, she's gonna cash it in, but then somehow, I don't remember, but I think Carmella's gonna try to, she does something that she's gonna like try to do a kick or something on Charlotte, but then she ends up hitting the ref, and the ref falls out of the ring with the with the briefcase, so
Yeah.
it ends up not working out for her, so she just takes it back and says, okay, not tonight.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of silly, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was silly.
Yeah, but I liked it.
Good.
Yeah, I like Carmella having the money in the bank, and because she's been holding on to it for a long time.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, even last year, I think when I just started watching a few shows with you, I noticed that she had it too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking, that she's had it for a long time, because usually I don't remember anybody holding on to the money in the bank briefcase for that long. Usually, within a couple months it gets cashed in, and
Yeah.
that person either cashed it in and boom, they failed and they look foolish because they tried to cash it in that sort of situation where they're trying to take advantage of something,
Yeah.
and they try to cash it in and fail, so they look foolish, or they totally capitalize, cash it in, and then they look like a bad guy because they took advantage of somebody when they were down.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
I don't know, like they've just been having her hold on to it forever.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so then after that little thing there, we had the match between Baron Corbin and Tye Dillinger. Baron Corbin won. Again, I don't know why this guy's winning. I'm not a big fan of Baron Corbin.
No.
I mean, the only thing I could say about this match really is like Baron Corbin's entrance to me is funny every time because he comes out and his music is playing and he puts his head down so that his hair is, in front of his face, and he's like dangling his head down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say, man, every time I see Baron Corbin, I'm like, dude, I know somebody's had to tell this guy about his balding situation, his hairline going on, being thin in the front. Somebody just give him a haircut.
Well, it's not a new look, I don't think.
No, I mean, he's had it forever. I mean, that's why the guy should know better. I mean, somebody's got to... I mean, he's a big guy, so I'm sure he's muscular and he's scary, but I mean, so are a lot of the other guys in that locker room. Somebody should tell him, just cut your hair, man.
Maybe he wants to rock the balding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hair.
Maybe people would take him more serious, or I could take him more serious if he would just get a haircut and, not look so foolish. He doesn't seem scary to me when you got a balding patch like that right in front with such long hair behind it. You just look foolish.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the look. Okay. Anyways, he got the win, so we'll go on there. What do we had next? Next we had a match with Breezango versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Of course, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable won. I feel like, that's just kind of the formula they got going now. I don't know if I've ever seen a match yet that I've seen where Breezango comes out and they win a match. Breezango is the one, they're the guys that do the Fashion Police.
Yeah.
Like with
Okay.
Fandango and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Like, I like those guys. They're good performers. But it seems like they usually use them to lose matches against bigger guys right now. Well, that's how they're being utilized right now. Anyways. And then, so after that, then we finally get the big match, the main event of the night, which was AJ Styles AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And the way this played out, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura get the win, but
Right.
what happened during this was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, argued and
Right.
fought, and so Sami Zayn left the ring for a while and
Yeah.
just watched because Kevin Owens was yelling at him and telling him what to do, and
Right. Yeah.
yeah. What do you think overall of this storyline they got going on between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn?
Isn't it just a back and forth? They're friends, they're not friends, they're friends again. Because I just remember part being them just getting back together as friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I guess it's good. The dramatic effect is good, but I don't really
Yeah, I don't know.
like
I mean,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't watch reality TV.
Yeah, I just hope that they're not breaking them up. Like, I hope that even though they're gonna have to fight against each other, and it's obviously gonna cause tension between the characters, but I like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens working together. Actually,
Yeah.
Especially Sami Zayn, I feel like he benefits a lot from them being a team. Kevin Owens is really good all on his own. And Sami Zayn's okay on his own, but I feel like he gets a lot of benefit of them being a team. So I hope they're not like trying to split them up already.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that would be too soon.
yeah. So I mean, hopefully they'll, even after this match that they're gonna have to fight against each other, they'll still have some storyline with them. Like even, I guess even if they decide not to be friends. This would be a direct feud with each other, so you could still have a storyline where they're still on screen with each other all the time. So, I don't know, maybe that would help, but, I don't want to see them totally split apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they do work well together.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty much everything we watched. I already went over 205 Live because that was a shorter show, so, what else? Anything else you've been watching, Mom?
No.
Andrea. I keep calling my wife Mom. We have kids who call her Mom all the time, and some of you other people out there who have kids, you might get drawn into the same habit as we, where you end up calling your wife Mom all the time,
or I call him Dad.
Yeah. So that's where that's coming from. Yeah, so I know you haven't really been watching anything else, but because 2 weeks ago we had Raw 25, and like I said before, I don't think you joined me for that part of the show. You were sick that day, so you just talked with me about something else. But that part of the show, I was talking about how I felt like, because Steve Austin and Vince McMahon opened the show, and I felt like that should have been the ending. That should have ended the show, because that was like the best part of Raw during the Attitude Era, and they were celebrating a lot of the Attitude Era since they were celebrating the past 25 years.
Yeah.
And that's when Raw and WWE was at its peak. So I felt like that should have been the show closer instead of the opener. And then so this week they have on WWE Network, they have like the Stonecold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon collection, where you see a lot of their promos that they did together and fights that they had with each other. And so I've been watching a ton of that, and that just definitely closes the book for me in deciding like, yep, that definitely should have been the show closer instead of the show opener, because nothing else the rest of the night lived up to that hype, I don't think. So,
no, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Stone Cold come out, give the double bird, crack open beers, and guzzle them down, and pouring them on Vince McMahon, giving Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon.
He's like 80 years old.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
he was still.
Why does he keep doing this to himself?
He likes it, I guess. He likes being part of the show.
Yeah.
Taking a stunner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like definitely should have been close.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing to watch is the Super Bowl, which we got coming up tomorrow. You and I are going to a Super Bowl party. That'll be fun to watch. Yeah. Everybody should go out and watch that. I know Andrea here, she's a hater. She's jealous of Tom Brady, so she's not rooting for Tom Brady.
I'm just not a fan of Tom Brady. That's it. That's all that is.
Yeah, because she's jealous of success, so I'm a big Tom Brady fan. But I'm actually for this one, I'm hoping that the Eagles win, because the Eagles, I think they're a really good team this year. They have the chance to finally topple the Patriots, and my best friend is an Eagles fan, so I want the Eagles to win so that my best friend will see his team win. But if the Patriots win, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to be real happy for Tom Brady. Unlike some haters over here, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah. So besides wrestling, I'd say that's one thing I suggest you go out and do this week. That isn't, wrestling. What about you, Mom? I'm just going off the fly here. Maybe we should tell people, is there anything else that you're interested in that you think people should check out this week that isn't wrestling related?
No.
No, nothing
No,
else
I
you
have
could think of?
no clue what's going on.
Yeah, but there's no TV show that you think
Oh my
people
God,
should watch,
really?
or
I watch
a movie, or
my
a
TV
book,
shows
or...
out of pure enjoyment. I don't recommend them to anybody.
I agree with that. Most of the show she watches, I don't watch with her because she does watch a lot of bad television. But
I don't know. Are there any good movies coming out? I would actually like to know that.
I don't know. I just mean
it's
something that you.
Holiday.
This is a suggestion, so it's something that you know is good that you should you'd want to tell people like, oh yeah, wrestling is great. We know that, but what else should you check out?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Go watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
That's good stuff.